Austin is done.
Will you stop being so dramatic?
Once the crown jewel of relocation,
You were making this big push for Austin, and since then we've had Oracle move its headquarters there. Elon Musk has said that he is relocating there.
3 years later.
economic, political, and dare I say crime factors have greatly contributed to Austin being in the top 10 of relocation move-outs according to Pods. We're going to break each of these factors down and really get to the bottom of the truth. Heck, actually wait till the end of the video because you, as the urban dweller, may find all of these factors a boon as you consider your own relocation efforts.
Just like companies like Oracle, Tesla, Facebook, and Google moved in,
we're moving this huge campus, which will ultimately be our world headquarters. We're moving that to Nashville.
this vacuum caused abundant office space and a slew of layoffs. Austin home prices between the pandemic all the way through 2022 accelerated rapidly. As a result of these high home values, what of course is one of the costs that increases lockstep? Well, property taxes. They were really high. So while that homeowner would have basically a gold mine, right?
Sitting on a gold mine.
With the rising equity, it was a locked gold mine because you have to sell your home in order to get that realized equity. So you did have the high home values, but you also had the high property taxes. And so basically high property taxes also with the flexibility of remote work made a choice to leave Austin very easy for a lot of homeowners. And as a result, neighboring suburban cities like Leander and Georgetown benefited. So now it's time to confront that elephant in the room. And of course, don't forget that donkey. Yes, political factors here. So in the standoff, Austin was basically more left-leaning overall in a sea, of course, of red. Texas is a red state. So decisions had to be made, right? So you can, of course, live that donkey lifestyle, more moderate lifestyle in Austin, but state policies, now again, don't shoot the messenger here.
Don't shoot the messenger.
I'm just relaying the information. Something like, for example, as a more anti-abortion legislation made that decision very easy for folks. And you know, a lot of them just left the state. You know, of course, right, naturally, a lot of people, not just for children or for schools, would want to move to the Austin suburbs, but then those Austin suburbs leaned a little bit more conservative, so then that decision needed to be made. Stay, absorb the cost of living increases, and some policies that are counter to your own, or actually lead the state. And unfortunately, as the numbers suggest, a lot of people that were more politically left the state of Texas and Austin. Good folks, hold on a second. Before we go to this third and final factor, I've got a quick PSA for you. While I know you can skip ahead, for your convenience, by the way, I've got chapters below in the description, I have an offer for you. It's only going to take 1 minute of your time. Watch my offer and then continue on to this third and final factor of why Austin is losing its status as an urban hotspot.
If I've been serving that almighty YouTube algorithm god properly,
Algorithms!
you, the viewer, is looking for a relocation, specifically an urban relocation. Therefore, you're really going to need a trusted advocate. You probably know what creature comforts you want, but you need that trusted advocate to find you the right place, neighborhood, and city. So, what I have here is the agent referral questionnaire. It's very simple. Answer a couple of quick questions, and let's schedule a time and date convenient for you to have a very quick discussion to kind of see where your wants and needs are. And then through my extensive network of referral partners through just about every place in our wonderful land of liberty, I can find you that realtor. It all starts, however, with that conversation. So I'm going to have it also linked below on the video that you're watching, and I can't wait to help you find a great agent so you can have a perfect urban relocation.
Touchy topic number 2, yes, crime. So I was a little reluctant to talk about crime, ladies and gents, because, you know, typically I could be accused of ethical or licensing violations. We don't really discuss crime. We always use third-party sources. Even in my own practice here in Chicago, if anyone asks me about crime, I always refer them to CPD, Chicago Police Department, or if I'm working in the suburbs, the suburban department. So it got me curious because in my research here, crime was a major factor, this third and final factor here of folks leaving Austin. So I wanted to do and dive into the stats. So here are the stats. I pulled some information from the Austin PD department. And so, a lot of folks when they move, wherever they're moving from, they could be moving from originally in the pandemic and post-pandemic from a small town. If you're not used to a more metro, larger, of course, influx of people can cause potential issues. You're not used to that. Then of course that could be perceived as a threat. Versus if you've lived in a big city, for example, like a Chicago, and you move into Austin, it's not that much of a big deal. It's about being aware. Never want to blame anyone, but you just got to be alert, got to be aware. So that, unfortunately, just people had to make that decision, and crime factored in there. Now that you have a better idea of why Austin is losing population and its appeal, would you still consider relocating here? Don't get me wrong. Austin, of course, still has its charm. It's one of the cities with one of the largest amounts of green space within the city limits. Of course, amenities, nightlife, music scene, comedy is here. So there's so many great factors that may outweigh these cons that I have mentioned to you. So if that's you still want to consider living here. I do have, of course, some silver linings here. The home prices in the city. Got a couple of areas here that have actually been softening because of that loss of demand. And of course, inventory is increasing. It's happening nationwide, but slowly inventory is increasing. And then ends up being, folks, a supply and demand with increasing supply, decreasing demand. Home prices soften. Here's a couple of markets you should consider. And even more important than that, the great news is I partner with some awesome Austin, say that really fast, 10 times, agents. They are neighborhood experts. They understand the data, and they can help you find a great home in Austin if you show the desire.
Chicago is riddled with crime and deep dish pizza.
We'll eat some Chicago deep dish pizza.
Okay, folks, only one of those things is actually true. Point being is Chicago should be on your urban relocation list. Unfortunately, a lot of folks are really underrating Chicago. And hey, listen, I might be biased. By the way, I am a City of Chicago Realtor, if you didn't know, with over 12 years experience of neighborhoods, which equal over 100, and there's 77 communities. So put Chicago on your bucket list. And if you want more information, very similar to my referral questionnaire, answer a couple of simple questions and fill out a time and date convenient for you for us to have a discussion. Now listen, you may not even know when you're going to have that relocation, but it has to always start with that conversation. So make that conversation, and I look forward to assisting you, hopefully, in an urban relocation to the wonderful city of Chicago.